As we get the show started, LSU wins the game, victorious in Tiger Stadium, 13-10 over Western Kentucky. Now, Western Kentucky was 8-2 coming into the game, and you look at their scores, and you knew they were going to put up a fight. You knew they were going to be a team that wasn't going to roll over. You knew they weren't a team that was not an FCS team where you're going to win 60-0. But you also didn't think that you would struggle offensively like you did, even as bad as this offense has been this year. Now, the defense, after the first drive, they went out there, they did their thing. They don't allow a touchdown in the game. They actually hold them to 152 total yards in the game. You were deep in the fourth quarter, and at one point before they completed a 20-yard pass, they had 4 yards of total offense in the second half. I mean, the defense was dominant. They got after the quarterback, had a ton of sacks, did really well stopping the run. They gave up 22 rushing yards in the game. All that's great. They held in third down efficiency. Western Kentucky was one of the best teams in the country, and you held them to 4 of 15 on third down, 0 of 3 on fourth down. So defense, another great performance. The defense looked like a defense that had everything covered. The defense looked like a defense that it didn't matter who was coming in and out of the game, backups, rotational pieces, they stayed with the same thing, and they dominated the game.
And they did get a little fortunate early in the game. The quarterback on a trick play on the goal line did drop like an inexplicable pass for a touchdown, which would have put us down 10-0.
You know what those count for?
Counts for $0, but still.
That's why he's playing quarterback.
That's why he's playing. Well, usually quarterback's got the best hands on the team, buddy.
Sure, bud.
Yeah.
Either way, the defense did their job in a game like this.
Defense did fantastic, of course. I mean, you expect them to do really good. They're a really good defense against equal competition. When you play not as good a competition, you expect them to be good. So they went out there and they did their job, and they did as expected. Now, on the other side of the ball, the offense set offensive football back about 50 years, I think, in tackle football.
That was the line that I was about to use, the same exact one. I was going to say longer than 50.
Forward pass set that forward pass back a ways. Definitely set the running, the running game's bad. Passing game's bad. The
rushers are great. The guys actually carrying the football, they're good. But everything else, and it's not just play design. Play design's one thing. It's also the flow of the game and when you call said run. Matt, Western Kentucky was 108th in rush defense in the country. There's only 130-something teams. They were 108th in the country. They were 9th in CUSA, Conference USA. 9th rush defense in Conference USA. I bring that up not because you didn't have great success running the football. You didn't. I bring it up because you went 20 straight plays in this game where a running back didn't get a carry. 20. You had, I think, 2 maybe in that same time where Van Buren got a carry. But as far as a running back touching the ball, you went 20 plays against the 108th ranked rush defense in the country, the 9th ranked rush defense in Conference USA, and your running back didn't touch the ball. That sequence in any game where you go 20 straight can't happen, but it sure as hell can't happen when you're facing off against an opponent that's 108th in the country in rush defense.
Yeah, it's an embarrassing stat. You watched the game back, and we all felt it. I mean, just lack of execution, the lack of being able to, execute, basic concepts or basic plays. Being able to convert, play pitch and catch on third downs certainly was not very good. But like you said, just the ebbs and flows, and of course we're dealing with first-time play caller, and there's a rhythm to play calling. It's a dance a little bit. You play with a partner on the other side, and there's you give and take. At certain times there's times that you punch, and there's times that you hold back a little bit. There's a flow to play calling, and that rhythm just wasn't found. Maybe maybe the expectation coming to the game was we're just going to, physically out dominate these people. And, even if it's not the perfect play call or the perfect scheme or whatever it is, like we got guys, we got Trey Dez, we got all these offensive linemen we can block and we'll knock them down. And we got Harlan Berry and Caden Durham, and they can just make guys miss and whatever. Well, when you got a team like this that has a winning record, that is successful in Coosa, and they're playing in Tiger Stadium at night, like they're going to play with more energy than they've probably played with the entire season. And then especially when they start smelling blood a little bit, and you give them an opportunity to perform the unthinkable, the upset in Tiger Stadium, like then they start playing even harder. And all of a sudden these guys that, in a recruiting world might be a 2 or 3 star start playing like a 4-star just because of the energy levels and the confidence. Like football is any sport is a confidence thing. It's a momentum thing. When you get into the rhythm, you get into the zone. But schematically, I'm just watching this. I just watched the first half briefly again before the show started. And it's just like head scratching X's and O's, head scratching schemes. Like I just don't understand what we're doing schematically. And when we do things, they just seem, the guys seem not doing them well. Poorly coached in routes, poorly coached in blocking techniques. The quarterback's footwork's never matches up to the passing scheme, to the route combination. The footwork's never there. So like all these things, when you add them together, like you can overcome one of these things, maybe even 2 of these things. But like when they start stacking up, like there's multiple mistakes every play, and they're stacking these mistakes up play by play by play, you get what you get. And at this point, it's just like, I hope we can make some enough off-schedule plays and out-athlete and out 6'7" Trey Dez. I was really trying not to say 6'7" there.
You were. They got you, though.
Out height you, it did get me.
Out height.
It's just unfortunate that that's his exact height dimensions.
Yeah.
Because it's unavoidable.
It is.
Because thank God you got him, right? Even though he's not like the cleanest and purest route runner, at least you can throw it up to him.
Yeah.
At least he can make a contested catch.
Like when you're calling offense and when you're designing everything, like you want it to look like very seamless and you want it to look so smooth, like a ballroom dance, right? Like everything's like in sync and everything just has a purpose and everything has. This offense looks like you're watching the reality TV show about Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that we've ever actually done it with a professional.
Yeah.
That's about how smooth this offense looks.
This is like Temptation Island. Was it Temptation Island that y'all were, or is it Love Island? What was that one that was most recent?
Love Island.
This is like Love Island.
In what
way?
It's madness, craziness.
Okay.
Unscheduled, unscripted.
Yeah.
And S show.
And I'm with you. Look, I know that the foundation of this offense is what it is. It was put into place, and it's been in place for a year and a half, and this is what you did in camp and all those things. But so you're not going to have wholesale changes, but also you can, and we saw some of it against Arkansas. So the foundation itself is broken. It's crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's on its last leg. Like it's buried, like a twig is holding up a building.
Yep. Right
now, but like the running 20 straight plays where a running back doesn't touch it, that has nothing to do with the foundation. So it's like it's an amalgamation of everything together. You know what I mean? It's not one thing here, one thing there, like you talked about.
Yeah.
And you can see like individual efforts. Like you can see both running backs making great cuts.
Yeah.
You can see
So
receivers
it's not
making
an effort
individual
thing.
players.
It's
not an effort thing at all.
It's not an effort thing. It's offensive linemen with bad hat placement. It's linemen with bad eyes, bad first or second steps. It's receivers not running enough steps in their routes or not really finishing their routes. And like 1 or 2 guys are running the route, and then the other guys are like running something that's like out of the concept. It's a quarterback that's footwork's not. It's
we talked about that.
3-step timing or 5-step
yeah.
timing. Like there's a rhythm to throwing. Like every 3-step drop in a pass play is not created equal. a 3-step drop can be done 50 different ways depending on what the route concept is.
Right.
And so, like, when he's got his feet set in his eyes and the guys aren't ready, like, he's getting off his first. Like, he hadn't played a lot this year. I got it.
Yeah. It seems like whichever quarterback has been in, what you're talking about, because it's like every route concept is going to have a 1, 2, 3, boom, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Whatever.
Is so,
but it seems to be there's hopping as you throw the ball, no matter who the quarterback is.
Footwork is the most important thing for a quarterback, to work an offense, be able to work in a normal passing game with normal concepts, normal progressions from, whether it's a pure progression, whether it's a pre-snap read, whether it's like a progression with an option. Like, it's all about the footwork. And the great quarterbacks, even the good quarterbacks, like, they all have very consistent and disciplined footwork. And that's coaching, man. Like, you got to coach that. You have to work that footwork every single day. And if footwork's not one of the number one things that you're doing in practice every single day as a quarterback, you're missing the mark as a coach. I don't know if they are or not. I'm just saying that's the number one thing. I worked with the best quarterbacks to play the game, Hall of Famers. And that's the number one thing we did. If it wasn't a team drill, if it wasn't 7-on-7, we're working footwork, 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 footwork. All right, this is the play. Here's our 3-step drop. This is the footwork. All right, same amount of drops, but a different play. Here's your footwork.
Yeah.
Where are your eyes? Where are your eyes when your back foot hits? Now, your crossover step on your second step wasn't good enough because it was too fast. You're going to get through your progressions too fast. Or it wasn't long enough. Your first step was too wide. Like, that's the number one thing. And Nussmeier's footwork's been sloppy this year. Van Buren's footwork's sloppy. It has to improve. Like, you can't expect to have a good, normal forward passing game if a quarterback doesn't have good footwork. And he makes the plays. Like, the guy plays hard, and, like, there's some things that he does that are very impressive. But, like, a lot of the inaccuracies are due to footwork right now. That's all I got. Sorry, I'm a big footwork guy.
I could tell, but you should be, and you're right, and you can notice it, like when you're watching the games, like you can tell, like you're throwing it sometimes where it looks like both feet are off the ground because of the hops.
Right.
You got like your back leg. I've never played quarterback in my life, but I know how important it is to push off your back leg.
It's a lot of like half shuffles. That's what it is. Instead of a 3-step drop, it's like 4 to 6 half shuffles. Which is stuff that I get. Like, maybe they're not working on it. Maybe, like, it's playing early, but these are the things you have to work on. Like, that's something you work on every single day. Nope, that's not good enough. Do it again. 3-step drop. All right, this is a 5-step, 1 hitch to the out. This is a 3-step on your back foot to the seam, 1 hitch to the comeback of the pit, and then 2 hitches to the check down. Like, it's a progression, and it has to be disciplined.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't help but think when you watch, Notre Dame play football and Mike Denbrock's out there, top 25 offense in the country, top 20 rushing offense in the country, has a running back that might end up in New York as a Heisman finalist. They're also scoring 41.4 points per game, and that was the offense coordinator that you let go to make Joe Sloan the full-time offensive coordinator. Like, and you didn't let him go. Like, it was like, mutual parting ways, but you did. And Notre Dame has a top 6 scoring offense in the country.
I really feel like, if I had to guess, and I haven't been to a lot of practices, but like when the quarterbacks have individuals, and this goes back to like when Joe Sloan was here, this is my prediction. I'm not like saying this, like instead of like working drop back footwork, I feel like they probably worked RPO footwork a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much time you get like during like for individual periods, like, and RPO footwork is not easy. So I think a lot of that, because the offense kind of went around that RPO, I feel like that was probably a lot of what they did in individuals. But again, I don't really know. But RPO footwork is another thing you got to train, and hit, because it's tough. You got to get your feet square. You have to be able to pull, put the ball into a running back's belly, then pull it out, and have your feet and hips and shoulders all aligned. So instead of working drop back, that's kind of my feeling based on what I've seen from the footwork this season.